All right, morning team. How's it all going? Hopefully you had a good afternoon session. Had a pretty good afternoon session yesterday before I went to the football while I was walking Luna. Nice long back up, and then the guys in Discord took the short 750 to 600 and then done with the day. And then maybe if you traded overnight, you had some nice moves. But the main story here is nothing's changed. All right, you can see continuing to rotate. All right, we couldn't get outside of it yesterday to the top side. We're at the bottom side today. So we're going to have to see if today is the day where we see weakness. Do they start rejecting and coming inside current year's value? Do we start rejecting previous day's value area low? Or are we just going to reclaim and do another chop? Right? Is this going to get tighter and tighter? I don't know which one it is, folks. We're going to have to be prepared for both. That's how trading is. Right? So we're going to have a look right now. We had an outside bar, we're coming back inside, so we have to see if pressure starts this morning or not. All right, if we move into the hourlies, you'll see what I'm looking for. All right, I want to see very clearly, are we going to reject previous day's value area low and current week's value area low? All right, are we going to find a rejection here for a drive lower? All right, and this will be the breakout trade if we start leaving under 300, right? So that's the question. Does previous day's value area low reject or somewhere around there? If not, if we reclaim previous day's value area low, I'm willing to let it come up towards 600 again, all right? If we defend 600, you can see this is like the edge of an LVN, especially from last week as well, right? You can see this is a very important area. Found support, 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 resistance, support, resistance, support, 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 resistance, okay? So 600, notable area, will be on the newsletter as well, I'm sure, right? So if we reclaim 500, we might drive to sixes. If we fail sixes, there's a short back to fives. And if we see continuation, then we're well positioned for this move. If we reclaim 500 and 600, in all honesty, it's probably just going to be a leave alone day for me. I'll just let it. I do not want to trade between 600 and 735 again today. I'm not really interested because we've already had a go at that. We traded that move yesterday. They traded that move short last night. Sorry, we traded that move yesterday to the upside. That move yesterday short. That move short last night. We're coming back to the same area. I really don't want to be trading in here. That is not very fun. So I'll do my best to avoid that. So maybe some of you might want to take the long on a reclaim of value down here for the move to 600. I won't, all right? I won't be taking that today. I'll be looking for shorts here and here to see if there's downside pressure. If we fail 600 and then we start to hold fives, then I'm willing to get long, right? If that's a pullback and a firm higher low, then I'm willing to get long, not before that. Right, so that's my plan today. If we look at the GEX is pretty much in line with everything we've just talked about. All right, big put wall here, just in front of 400. All right, and neutral zone is up here just inside, just before 600. Okay, and then call wall is right up here at 800. Right, so 600 to 800 is the chop. I want 600 to be defended if sellers are going to be here today. This is really going to depend if we're really going to sell through on multiple assets. So let's just go over those assets now. All right, first thing we look at, broader market on ES. Relative strength. Right, clear higher low on ES. Unsurprising because finance has found a bid. All right, so driving up towards here. This is the area for ES, right? Does it fail around the 600s? Okay, and if it does, back into this node, you don't want them to hold a bid at 95. If they do, they get increased pressure upside. If we fail 600, come back down to 85s and see continued weakness, that will help the NQ sell off because it'd be a broader market sell off. Again, put walls are down here at 70. So that's the target today. If we do see follow through downside, spiders, same kind of story here. All right, clear higher low, right, for the week. And we need a rejection of this range, right? We want to see a rejection of that range and follow through downside if we're going to play it. If we don't see that and we reclaim it, that's a no trade zone for me. I will just be leaving that alone. Qs, relative weakness. Okay, you can see very, very different, right? No higher low being maintained up here, right? And we have a very clear pivot high, pivot low, chop, pressure up, all the way back down to lows, found a bid, can't reclaim, back down to lows. We don't want to short down here, Okay, so we're looking for a drive out, which is sold into, and then if we see this move, we can always play the continuation. We want to be very careful down here, right, for this, right, if they undercut and then come back up. So that's why I'm looking for a drive up higher to sell into this morning, as long as we reject value or reject a key level. Okay, Dixie is right there, folks. All right, so we flushed under to start yesterday, and we're starting to find a bid back up. Now, obviously, if this drives back out, it's a sell in the market. So if this is an undercut and a reclaim, we start selling the market. If Dixie starts seeing this, we start bidding the market back up. So be very, very aware of what's happening at this daily level. Remember, this is a daily level on Dixie right here, right? It matters. It really matters. You have to understand the bigger picture right now. You can see came to one side of the box, came to the other side of the box. All right, broader. Let's have a look at the mag. Opening up flat today, big drive yesterday, flat today. Like I said yesterday, I was surprised. That much strength in the market for the market to not catch a bid in the morning says everything you need to know about the semiconductors. If we can't hold a bid here this morning in mag, all right, after a peak out here, if they chop here and let it go, we come for a retest. That would be weakness in the market. All right, we have to see what they're willing to do. Otherwise, if they hold this, relative sideways action and some strength there. All right, SOXX. Right, this is just equally weighted. You can see lower highs here. Yesterday, big sell, tried to reclaim. They had the chance to reclaim there. They didn't. For me, that's telling the story. Lower high, lower low. If they can't reclaim here, 540s, SOXX, it's a sell. All right, to make that make sense for you on the triple leveraged, very simple. 150s, right? 150s. If they can't reclaim 150s, it's a sell. If they reclaim 150s, they'll have a go to get back to 160s. I still think that's probably a sell there. When do we go into buy mode? Well, if we reclaim 160s and get back green on the day. But at the moment, I would imagine there's a degree of pressure here. 50s and 60s are what I'm going to watch out for today on SOXL. Software, IGV looks pretty good. All right, big drive 2 days ago. Held range yesterday. All the time we're holding above 94s. It's pretty positive for software. For a new leg higher. Remember, that's had relative weakness for a long time now. We're just starting to get going. All right. It's not like SOXX, which is like way up here and pulling back a bit. All right. So they're trying to find a bid out on this. So, you know, it's got room. It does have room to go if they can hold the bid. But I'd say 94 is going to become important over under today. In fact, I'm going to set an alert there so that I can remember. Let's set it underneath it so I know if it's broken. Move this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's do the individual names on the mag. So Apple, been a runaway train, new all-time highs, breaking out. Looks very, very strong. All pullbacks to hold, I'd say 25 to 23s. All right, any pullback that holds that shows continued strength in Apple. If they start losing 25 and 23s, then you see downside pressure to where we broke out from breakout. Retest can still happen. All right, Amazon. Again, breakout yesterday, looking good. We're in long from this. They will want to hold this, really, 55, 54s. They lose that, we're going to see that retest all the way back down here to 51s and 50s. I would expect that will absolutely be bid because of how we've constructed outside of this. So these are all getting bids up before earnings right now. You can see the call wall at 260. Goog, same story. Been very strong in this breakout from this blue box. All right, remember we're long a little piece from here. And we'll just see now, can we hold the top of this shelf? All right, 70s, you can see how they've built volume out here. If they fail to hold 70s, right, you'd look for an undercut and a reclaim. Otherwise, we're coming back down to where we broke out from, and we can look at adding back in again at 357s. Meta, same kind of story. Base is much higher here on Meta. All right, so we've got that sort of quasi inverse head and shoulder look. It's holding pretty well. I'd watch 77s to 75s here. If they can hold that, you're looking for a drive to 700. If they lose it, we're just going to come back down to 60 and retest where we found that base. Again, these have room, folks, right? These have room. They've been multi-leg down, right, with pressure, and they're starting to base out, right? They have room. If earnings are good, they're going to get going. That's why we're long in a lot of these names. We're long off the bottoms, though. We're not long up here. Just as a warning for those of you who are wondering, we are long, swing long down here right now in Discord, all right? We're up about $100 or so. So we'll just see if we can pull back and continue to hold. Anything that holds, I'm interested in buying these names. Microsoft, same story. Right, he's seeing the strength in MAG right now. They've turned the MAG on. Right, any dip that holds above 93s is strong. For today, it's possible if they don't hold 98s and can't reclaim 400s, we might see that move back in. Seeing some selling just come on the tape here. We've got 5 minutes left, so let's mark it on open. Nvidia, probably relative weakness, I would imagine. Yes. Doesn't look too bad, actually. It doesn't actually look too bad. Let me just zoom out of this to see where we are. Okay. Go to a 4 hour. All right, you can see here is key. Absolutely key. Right, we've had peak formation high, failed follow through, back into range, held the top of the old range. That is a good sign. All right, building out liquidity here. Really now we need to reclaim this pivot. All right, they need to reclaim 13s and 15s to get that drive up. It doesn't look too bad, but if they keep failing 15s, it's going to be a problem. All right, so that's what I'd be looking for today. You want to see, or for the rest of the week, you want to see strength of a base over all of this. Then maybe we've got a slingshot back up on earnings. All right, so we just have to see here. It's not really perking my interest for a trade. Tesla, the range on this thing is absolutely insane. Still can't get back above the 420s, still going sideways. We zoom this out, starting to build a bit of a shelf here. This is starting to look very, very dangerous now. Right, so there's the drive out. Right, there's the 420 level, peak above 420, instant fail, can't reclaim, build out liquidity. Right, it's getting very tight. Someone's going to win here. Either bulls get the squeeze, or we're going to get a breakout short to retest some of these lows again. All right, so I would have your eyes today on these kind of levels, 92s, even 90s. I'll put a little price alert down here to see if they get follow through. All right, some of the little broader names, we can have a little quick look for earnings which are coming. Netflix tonight. We'll see. Projected move, I think, is 7 to 8%. Watching to see if they hold that into 70s. We've now filled the gap, I believe. No, still 70.47. Still open. Still open gaps. It's the same one we've been looking at for months. So waiting to see if they fill that gap on earnings, maybe a little flush, and then see if they can get going back to the upside. Remember, we were long here. We sold a good chunk. Most of us are waiting or have a tiny piece left just to see if it wants to go again. See if we can get a double formation down here and go again. Hood looks great. We're long down here. You can see where we're long. Looks really, really good. Finance is catching a bid. So if we can go sideways here for a bit and prove to me it can build out liquidity, I will add in even more size looking for new all-time highs. So lots of these names looking pretty good. Lots of the swing names looking good. They've played us so well the last year. It's been really nice. Really, really nice. Okay, let's get ready for the open here. Oh, I just missed that. Okay, that's the rejection of previous day's value. So we're watching for shorts there. Maybe some of you just got that while I was talking. So we'll see if we reject value and we come under here, we're looking for downside pressure. I've just missed that opportunity because I was getting morning ready. We got 2 minutes to open. If they reclaim value, it's very simple. I'm going to watch to see if we do one of these or one of these today. That's what I'm looking for. Here, here, and here. I want to see if there's a rejection in any of those. If they just start to base above this, I'm just not interested. I'll have to see a squeeze and then a hold for me to get long. Market's heavy so far this morning, so I would love a push higher, buyers to get trapped and then sell into it. Let's see, folks. Let me just get these charts ready. Yeah, 150 over under on SOXL and then 160. Just remember those. We're right at the 150 at the open. Squeeze up would be really nice this morning. If we could squeeze up, opening 15 to 30 minutes and see failures, that would help. MAG, like, just hanging on pre-market lows right now. Software the same. What's the put wall? It's right here, mate. You can see it right there. 380. 380 is the put wall. Let's see how we go there. Good luck, everyone. See if we can get a squeeze up to sell into. Would be nice. Here's the squeeze. There's value. So do they fail here? Or do they come all the way up to 560 would be next? 560 and then 600. Let's get some volume on here. There we go. So back inside range. So MAG catching a bid to open. SOXL in front of 150s, come just driving upside. Waiting to see if they fail now. After this pop, do we come back under value? Or do they hold value and go for 560 and then 600? So watching this carefully now. Bookmap is frozen, folks. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get a short here, guys. Bookmap's frozen. Big rejection block there. Like what I'm seeing. Fucking hell, mate. Anyone else having this? I'm short at the moment, but I feel blind. Bookmap says unexpected market delay for 31 seconds. Well, that's useful, isn't it? Let's just make sure traders like us can't get positioned, shall we? There we go. It's just woken up again. Fucking hell. Didn't like that data. All right, I cut that off, that trade off once Bookmap froze. We'll see here. So it's a hold of value. Let's see if it comes up. I'm going to wait to see if we get a retest. Ideally up here would be great, and then see if it fails up there. IGV crossing, so weakness in IGV, so software weak, MAG weak, SOXL pushing. So the rotation continuing, Tesla crossing to the downside as well. So pressure in Tesla as an individual name. I think we're going to be in shorts today. It's just we've got to wait for it to be ready. Here we go. Let's see if we can have another go if they fail value again. Looking for shorts here, folks. I'm short 500 at the moment. I want pops to fail 500. I do not want them to support this and bid it up to 6s now. Big rejection SOXL. I want SOXL back under 50s. Nice. This is looking good. See if we can get under that New York Open. And then see if we can see weakness to the low side. Not going to give this much room here, folks. I want all pops to be sold into now. Beautiful. I want under New York Open now. Here we go, folks. It's appeared a little bit off, and we'll see if we can stay heavy versus 500 now. Not looking for a reclaim of 5s here. We'll cut if they start basing above 5s. It would just be a scalp if that's the case. The risk is if they get through here, they go 560, 600. So we're short versus this and see if we get continuation. ES, really good rejection of VWAP. Semis look like 155, 160. So they're saying hold my beer. MAG is absolutely puking out. So it's just semiconductors holding this market up. The rotation, rotation, rotation. Still sat in this at the moment. If semis start to fail with the rest of the market, this thing's going to bleed hard. So it's semis holding this market up right now. Otherwise, this thing's toast. The danger with semis is if they get the 55 break, they'll get a little squeeze up to 160s. But we look good for now. So we're short at 500s and see if we can bleed. And if we can't, we cut the runners and so be it. So far, so good. Nice. I want to see follow through underneath this blue line, which is New York Open, and then make a new low in the New York session. Here we go. Fantastic. Okay, let's see if we can get under previous week value area low now and start bleeding for the day. Let's fucking go, baby. Beautiful. So if you want to peel some off into the top of this grey box, you can, and then we'll look for new lows. Right, and this level is very, 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 very important. So you can peel some off here. We'll see if we can get down into this put wall, and then we'll see if we can bleed outside of this range. Beautiful trade here already. Nice start to the day. Nice start to the day. Let's fucking go. Let's go. All right, we're looking previous day lows. Now let's go, baby. Let's go. It's 100 points basically already, folks. Let's go. Absolutely wonderful. Wunderbar. Oh, SXL getting absolutely slapped in the face under 150 now. Right, let's see if they fade pops versus 150 and SOXL. I want MAG to start rejecting New York VWAP. I want everything to start selling down here. I want all pops to be sold into, ideally. Should have paid yourself a good chunk of money. 100 points to start the day. You're 5 minutes into the day. We've got Tesla crossing downside again. Looking good. Big seller at these lows. Just be careful into previous day lows. So we wouldn't mind a pop back up here to retest 24s to 40s and then see if we can resell that again. Here's the 24 to 40 check. Put a little piece more on here. Sellers at these lows here. Need this to extend lower now. Need a new low of day here for me, because I've just added some more size on. I really don't want to reclaim a 15 now. Be careful here. They've built out a little shelf down here. We want this low volume node to stay heavy into 30s. So that's why I'm saying 15s, because it's the top of this. So don't want this back over 30s now. We'll trim size there, because then it might suggest we need a retest of 60s again. Everything looks good though. We look good for a sell here. We look good, we look good. MAG trying to find a bid. It might just need a retest of VWAP here on the MAG. Semis heavy. We need 150 to stay heavy on semis. Right, here's the drive back up. So they might come and test these 60s again. Want to be very careful up here. That squeeze. Semis back through 150. This is all about the semis right now. See if we sell back through now after retesting 60s. It's jumpy. It's jumpy on the tape, folks. Be careful. Plunge protection is here. Come on, give us follow through downside. You've just done the retest. Just snap it. Snap it now. You've done the retest. Come on. Here it comes. Come on. We've got to get under this node. It's going to be a problem if we can't get under this low volume node that we're bidding on. Come on. There's a retest again of this node. Once we snap this, it's game over. So it's all about the semiconductors and 150s right now. Here we go. Testing these sellers at these lows at 410s. Yes, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Please follow through here. Please follow through here. Let's give us some follow through here. Stop the games. Under previous day low would be magnificent. Here we go. Yes. Come on. Follow through, follow through, follow through, follow through, follow through. Come on. Come on, market. Give us a day of follow through. We've been begging for it for months now. 150 retest again on semis. Still heavy here on the tape versus 30 right now. Still heavy. Nice. Come on. 150 reclaim semis. Be careful here, folks. We do not want this above 30 now. We just want to see follow through downside. Come on, new low. You're so fucking close. Just yank it, man. There we come. Go, go, go. You're right on him. Pull it. Pull it. There we go. Good, 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 good. Let's see if we can accelerate now. So 360s on the book. Let's see if we can fill these players down here. Big put wall here, so you want to be covering into this. Beautiful. So down to tiny size now, and we see if we accelerate under this now. This put wall is important. Absolutely beautiful. 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 Here's the put wall. So you're down to tiny size now. And let's see what we get here. There's the put wall. So my cut now is previous week value area low. If they reclaim that, I'll be done with it. Low hanging fruit's made. If we can stay heavy versus 400 to 430, we can maybe consider more trading, but at the moment it might need a shakeout. Semi's still holding on, right? So if I take you over here, look what we've got. All right, semi's holding on. So we've got mag, white line is your mag. Mag's in a bleed. All right, we've got, let's go to a 1 minute and make it easier to see. All right, mag's in a bleed, software's in a bleed, semis with the W formation holding on. That's basically your 150 on semis. All right, if this starts bleeding with this, we're going to go into alignment for a big sell. And the market is being held up by this and this only right now. That just took my stop, didn't it? Yes, it did while I was on the other screen. Great. All right, we'll see if we can get a re-entry here. I'm now flat, folks, just being honest with you. That just took my stop while I was on the other screen looking. Everything's looking good, though. Software's getting nuked. Mag's hanging out at low of day. It rejected VWAP like we talked about. New lows coming here, I think. If you reject 150 here on semis and they start letting go, if they can't get back over that put wall, it's going to be a very good sign of lower prices today. It is really about the alignment of these semiconductors. Are they willing to let them go with everything else? Alex trading coming, yeah, it's very possible. I mean, the swipe was pretty big, so I mean, what did it stop me out by? 15-point swipe above. New lows coming there, folks. New lows mag, new lows software. 50's getting rejected out. Yeah, you've got it. You've got it. You've got it. It's done me. It's done me. It's done me. All right, downside targets we have to think about here. You're looking for the crack of yesterday. 306 crack opens the door to 180s and then to 29,000. Just sit in it, guys. Sit in it. Let the runners work now. You're comfortable in position. I would say you can move your stop to like here, 400. Just try and let it work on small size now. Really nice work. Nice work, team. Great work. Bleeding, bleeding, bleeding. They're all in alignment for the bleed. Look, 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 look. Bleed, 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 bleed. They've gone into alignment. It's exactly what you want. If it can print them all. There you go. Downside pressure, breaking lows here. Everything's in alignment for you now. Sit in it, let it work. Like pay yourself good chunk and now try and let it work. I'm going to remind you where we are on the daily so that you also remember. It's very, very important this, right? We are into this shelf, the bottom of this on the daily. Tesla crossing again. So you can see Tesla over under. This is a big level here into 300s, right? We find acceptance under 300 today with an inability to reclaim as we go outside bars. We can look for this drive. All right, 300 matters. That's why you're down to small size. If they let go of 300 and they fail to reclaim it, we can look for pressure down here today. Right? If they reclaim 300 and start holding, it's all right. You've made your money. Don't worry about it. And I'd say 380 you want to be sold into now. Nice work, team. Right? Nice work. That's our job, right? Turn up, make money, hold the runners. Don't be like Alex and get stopped out. Hold the runners and let it work. Remember, we've got news at the top of the hour as well. We must remember that. I'm almost going to forget it otherwise. What have we got? Manufacturing inventories, housing market index, pending home sale index. Yeah, Dubs in chat if you got it or still in it. Look at all these drives into low volume lows getting rejected. This is such a good sign right now. You have got everything perfect right now for this thing to completely cascade. All right, if you look at this, this is in a massive bleed now. This thing's let go, massive bleed. you look really good. You look really good. So just try and sit in your position. Remember, we were short from here, all right? Basically 500. We were short from 500, and I was adding on pops up here. Just try and let it work now, folks. All right, this is the hard part of trading, is trying to let trades like this work. If you've covered a good chunk, try and let some of it work now for you. Because that, even that one micro, if it does another 200 points for you, it's another $400 per account. I'm going to need a bid back up here for me personally, so I can get back involved. Remember, you're coming into the edge of that grey box is basically your daily zone, right? This is the edge of that big daily level, right? Basically the 300. If we do this move here, it's good night market for a bit, I would say. If they do this move here, right, we want to be done with shorts. 300 is basically the level. Remember, we just went over it on the daily. Will we see a reversal at 10 a.m.? I don't know. Shaking my crystal ball, shaking the magic 8 ball. What does it say? I have no fucking idea. There we go. I don't know. We can only trade what's in front of us. I can't predict. I can give you the pathing, but I can't predict what's actually going to happen. I wish I could. I'd be a very rich man. How did I know to enter the short around 500? It was yesterday's value, my friend. Yeah, it was yesterday's value. So once we poked above that and failed back under, if you were here pre-market, what did I say? If we can get above previous day value and we fail back under it, I'm looking for the short. I'm willing to let it go to 560, 600, come back under 500, I will short. Why? Rejection of yesterday's value, right? So we are now migrating value lower. So we're looking downside pressure. You like the way I trade? How do I join? You mean the Discord? You will need to do the beginner to advanced course. Discord comes for free with that, with an indicator very similar to the one that you will see here, very similar to this simplified version of this. It's a one-time fee, $6.99, flowzonetrader.com. Links are posted underneath. No monthly fee, nothing like that, just a one-time fee if you're interested. But like I always say, turn up with me here live first. Make sure you like how I trade. Go and do the free education on my YouTube. Make sure you like how I teach. Don't go spending money before you make sure that I'm the right person for you. I don't want you to waste money. I'm not insulted if you're like, I hate this guy. Don't like how he teaches. Pedagogy doesn't work for me. That's all right. I won't be insulted by that. I'd rather you save money and put it into someone that works well for you. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's someone else. That's fine. Pedagogy is important. You know, it's really important. I'm sure all of us here have been to school or college or some form of education. You've all had a good teacher before. A good teacher, you like that teacher because they understand how you learn, right? A good teacher can change the way they teach. Pig sellers here at Lowe's. Those things are starting to crack. So under the 300s now, look at this shelf that's just developed there. So any rejection now of that is telling me massive downside pressure in the market can potentially come. I'm now salty that I got knocked out of that. Where was the knockout? Up here. Oh my fucking Lord. While I was teaching. There we go. What was I saying? Yes, pedagogy is important. Good teachers can change the way they teach for the students, right? If they're teaching live. So some students learn visually. Some students learn with auto cues. Some students need you to hammer down on them harder. Some need, positive praise all the time. That is pedagogy, all right? Teaching methods. My course is obviously online, so there's only one way of me teaching, which is pre-recorded. So it's exactly how I teach you here. It's exactly how I teach on my YouTube on the free video. So make sure that works for you. I'm probably a visual learner and a storyteller. That's how I try and teach. You got swiped out on the same one. Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? It happens. It's all right, though. We'll see now. This is the setup that we're talking about now. So if we build here and start rejecting, look at this bleed, folks. Look at this bleed. Very, very, very good. Right. MAG trying to find a bid to VWAP. That's going to be important. If the MAG stay heavy, MAGs versus 68.5, that's good. SOXL, new lows. IGV, new lows. Alignment is very, very good here. ES still has room. I think ES is going to look for that 570. That's its put wall. So I still think we've got room downside here. We'll see if pops start to fail here. So we'll see if we start to fail sort of this 300 to 310 kind of level. If they reclaim that, we want to leave it alone because it can come right back up to 300. We'll see if we can get a pop into sort of 300, 310 here, this move here. Let's see if they start to sell this or reclaim. So I want to see big buyers come in and I want to see them get rejected. Watching this very carefully. If they reclaim, it's a leave alone. But I want to see buying here. There's someone trying to walk it back up to 300 now. And if they reclaim sort of 300, 320, they can squeeze right the way up here. So I'm waiting to see for the turn before I start thinking about doing anything here. Here's ES retesting VWAP. This is good. MAG looks like it might want to retest a VWAP as well. And then we will look for the rejection there if they're willing to do it. Remember, if we reclaim all of this and start going inside, then it's a failure to follow through outside that big daily box. All right, so this is the edge of that huge daily. This is a 3-month node. This is the edge of it. So this is important now, whether we have a follow through day or a failed breakout day and back inside. So watching this very carefully here to see if they reject or they reclaim and they go all the way up to 400. Big rejection there so far. Let's see, there's some imbalances here. Reclaim 12s through POC. So they're going to look for 4s now, or 370, 380 by the looks of it. Buyers starting to step on the tape, trying to lift up. We've got 9 minutes to news still. Trying to be patient here. ES rejecting VWAP, or at VWAP and first sign of rejection. MAG not quite at VWAP yet. Semis finding a bid, retesting their shelf at 46s. They might need to come all the way up to 48.5 to 150 again there. Struggling to get through here and find acceptance at the moment. I need to squeeze up here to 370s. Here it comes. I'm going to watch this into this kind of area here, 370, 380. See if there's sellers waiting there to just slap it back down once it gets up there. Almost there. Yes, back through VWAP. Here comes the test on semis, like we talked about. What do I say? 148.5. We're there right now. MAG to VWAP. It's retesting it now. First sign of rejection on semis at 148.5. I'd like this to come a little bit higher into this LVN. A little bit higher would be great. And then see if the sellers are up there. There's the first sign of rejection. Now buyers will want to hold this level here at 310. If they lose that, this downside pressure it hasn't come high enough for me yet. That's upsetting. Didn't quite get there. Did not quite get there. So buyers will want to try and produce a higher low versus this shelf and get back into that now. I'm not looking to be a buyer today. Certainly not. Here we go as the fails. Didn't get my fill where I wanted. So we can look for 308 rejection now as well. 308, 320 rejection again. See if we can get re-involved. It's unfortunate. Was almost there. So if the chances were they had to reject here, which they didn't. And then we're looking for a second leg into here and see sellers defend this for this move here now. So this now or this now. What we don't want is that. All right, because that'd be a failure outside this daily block. So still waiting here to see if we can come up into this node. Semi is still rejecting 48.5 here. They still can't get through it. Software still weak. MAG is at VWAP. ES relative strength. What's found a bid here this morning? Healthcare 2.5% up. So that's a relative strength in ES. Big rejection there. I've just missed looking at healthcare. God, you can't take your eye off these screens at the moment. The moves are so fast. All right, let's see here if we can get involved. Big sellers at these lows. Want to be careful getting short down here. But if pops start to fail 307s, I want to get involved. New lows coming there. No, this thing's melting. It's schmelting. It's schmelting. Can we get involved? Yes, getting slapped. Look at the 148.5 rejection on semis. What did we call for? I just want you to see this. This isn't me like stroking my own knob. This is just so that you understand the importance, basics, principles. Support became resistance. 148.5. Bang. All right, don't overcomplicate it. Buyers came in here, failed, stop out here. That's why we trade 148.5s. All right, timing's everything. Learn to understand what's moving the market. It'll make your life a lot easier. All right, I'm still looking for this same move here because I'm still not involved. See if we can trap some buyers here because I don't want a short low of day. So still watching to see if we can reject up here in this LVN here. I'm interested. I want to be careful of an undercut and reclaim now. All right, because we've undercut. I need to see rejection here now. Otherwise, I think we're going to do this move right back up here again. Buyers are trying to lift now. I can see them, same thing. They're trying to stay a step higher now. We're going to have to wait for a big seller to come on the tape. So I think we're going to have to wait for that 360, 380 move. We're in support zone. Yes, exactly. Well, like I said, technically, I'm going to take you to the same place. Technically, on the daily, we're at the edge of this, right? We're at the edge of this. We're at the edge of the grey box. So either we pop and fail, or we come under and fail, or we undercut and we do the same move back inside. This is why we have to be very careful down here. You're absolutely right. It's why we wanted to be short 500 for the move down here today. It's the edge of the grey box. That's why I'm waiting to see if we can get up here, ideally, more than anything. If we can do a little two-leg. What we need to be careful now is we have undercut. So that can be a bear trap down there if they've fallen for it. All right, here's the pop. I just missed a fill there. Fuck me. Well, there's your sign where the sellers are. They're in the LVN like we talked about. There's the sign. $3 minutes. I'm tempted to wait for news here. I might take my hands off the mouse. News here in 3 minutes. That was it. If you took that, you look good. That was literally what we've just talked about. I've missed it again. Again. Long? No longs for me, mate. Definitely not. I think this is a breakout day to the downside by the looks of it. No longs for me. And if we can't reclaim previous week value area low and we can't reclaim previous day value area low, there's certainly no long opportunity for me. You're playing counter trend to the upside. Remember, if we break out downside today, we're breaking out of 3 months worth of volume. Just let that sink in. If we break out to the downside, it is a 3-month breakout short. Best source for news, probably Financial Juice. That's what I use. Again, I'm going to wait for the news here, folks. Top of the hour. I don't want to get caught in some swipe. So I'm just going to wait. Does the Bollinger Band stop it? Yeah, potentially. But the Bollinger Band has gone flat. So like 29,000 is basically where the bol is today, right? We can bleed outside of that and then come back inside. Remember, the Bollinger Bands are tight, right? We've got contracting Bollinger Bands. Once we start to break, which way are you? I'm trying to think. The bols will go like that, right? Once we start to break, they'll open up and we get trend. Until that point, we're in contraction, right? So the Bollinger Bands are like narrowing. Once they break, they'll open up. All right, 30 seconds here till news. That's what I'm waiting for at the moment. Mag's just rejected VWAP again. Semis are still at that same level. They're at 48, 148. 48 and a half is the level. If they get through 48 and a half, they're going to retest that put level, put wall, which we're under, and VWAP, which is 150. And I will not long this unless we get above all this up here. I'm going to ignore all this. Here comes the drive. This is the news drive. We might come right the way up. And we see if there's a rejection up here once they get through this news, right? Once they get through it. See what the number they print is. Home index 72.5 versus previous 76.8. Business inventories came in line. Home sales, way more. 5.4%, forecast 0.5. So healthy home sales there. People starting to buy and sell houses again, which is good. Good for me anyway. Maybe someone will buy my house in London. Okay. I'm watching this now carefully. This is the level. Yes, very, very strong here off healthcare. 150 test here, SOXL. If they reclaim this, shorts are off the table for the day. Nice rejection there, 150 so far. Software trying to get back up to VWAP. Mag still at VWAP. Still this thing squeezing. And I will not consider anything long side unless we get over all of this. I'm going to ignore everything else. I don't want to get caught in a bull trap on a squeeze up. It's going to have to reclaim value for me. And remember, we've made good money already. We don't need to force anything now. We can be patient now. I know you guys don't like being patient, but we can be patient and let this rotate a bit and build out liquidity and show us the story. Couldn't give a shit about S&T. Sorry, mate. Don't care. Don't care. All right, ES coming up to New York Open and 24-hour VWAP. Just doing the ping pong again in ES between New York VWAP and 24-hour VWAP. Here comes the squeeze to previous week value area low. Now, this is going to be key. Are we going to reject previous week value area low, or is this going to be failed acceptance underneath value? All right, so previous day is here, previous week is here. Decision is here. Sellers must defend this for continuation trades. If they fail to defend that, it's a look below and fail, and we come back inside value again. So this is why I'm waiting at the moment. Nice rejection there so far on ES 24-hour VWAP New York Open. 150 is being traded now. SOXL did poke above, come back to it. If they start finding a bid here at 150, be very, very careful of a squeeze out. Upside targets will be 55, 60. Closing the gap will be 65 today. Neutral zone is 75. So it's a very, very important level now for what they're going to do with this market with the semiconductors. And it's very important for us as well. Are we going to maintain an outside bar? This is previous day's low here as well. So are we going to go outside bar? Is this a two leg to be sold into? If we're going to take this short, we're going to have to respect 350, 315s. So watching carefully here, waiting for a turn to happen. Not going to be front side in this because we can keep squeezing if they reclaim. But so far, I'd say that's pretty clear rejection of previous week value area low. Buyers trying to come in here and cause the squeeze. You can see them starting to attack this tape. Patient, 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 patient. Liquidity is up to 40s right now. Alex, England lost the game yesterday. No way, I'd never noticed that. Didn't notice. And closes the stream. Yes, buy at the 5-day. And at one of the algo lines as well. It's a big level. Starting to see buyers come in aggressively up here. If they can't move this higher soon, they're going to get caught. Right, they just aggressively bid at 90 and they aggressively bid 400 with failure to get through there. So I'm watching this now to see if this gets defended. Do we start to soak here from sellers, or do they need to clean out this liquidity to 40? Can they make their mind up? Mag back through its New York VWAP, not a 24-hour yet. Still dancing on the 150 on semis. All right, so look at the lift here since the lows. Here's the lift. This is the 150 zones where we chopped earlier on semis. Right, this is the 150 zone. This is mag. This is software. This is the open. All right, so we're just going to have to see now, is there a failure point here, or do they bid out? Does everything start bidding out? We don't know, folks. We just have to wait. Comes the lift, so they might want to clean out to 50s. If we start reclaiming all of this, then it'll be no more shorts for the day. That's why I'm just being patient here. We reclaim value, no more shorts for the day, and we go back inside range. Here's the 40s. I said all this liquidity up here, they're trying to clean out. So it looks to me like we're going right back inside range, especially if they reclaim this. So remember, the daily failed to stay heavy underneath this level, like 300s, 400s. We're right at 400s now. If they reclaim previous day low, which they're trying to, then we come back in an inside bar, and this gets tighter and tighter and tighter. So we're still waiting now. We took the first short down. We just wait. Nothing else to do right now but wait. Got all the time in the world, folks. You don't need to force anything. Semis ripping through 150. So the squeeze is on in semis for high of day, and they're going to look for 55s. They get the 55 break. They're going to look for 60s. And if they're going to close gaps, they're going to have to get up to 65 today on semiconductors. Mag getting rejected off VWAP, software getting rejected off VWAP. So again, this is a triple leverage squeeze causing this. It's one of the most bid on markets right now. So again, divergence. There's semiconductors through the 150. There's Mag 7. There's software. Guess what's doing the work? Surprise, surprise. It's a one-horse race again. So we just wait. We wait to see if they peak out or not. We don't short against it. All right, squeezes can last a lot longer than people think. There is definitely strength over 150 now on semiconductors. Into value area high. If they start bidding previous week's value area low here, that will be saying, hey, we're not going to accept lower prices for the weekly, and they will squeeze up to previous day value area low, which is what they're just trying to do now. They're trying to hold previous week to get to previous day. And if they get through previous day, then we can go rotation all the way up here. It's possible. I'm not going to rule that out, which is why I want to wait to see what we do when we get up there. Are they going to reject previous day, or are we saying, hey, no, we're going to go higher price, or we're going to rotate yesterday's value again, which will be the what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17th day of rotating these same levels, these exact same levels, exactly the same for 17 days. There's 55s on semis, squeezes on. They break 55s, they're going to go 60s, and then 65s. I know they're just whole numbers, but that's what they are, and then 75s. Squeezes on. This is all on semiconductors again. Hold my beer, semis are going. So previous day value area low being tested here. That and VWAP are important. Do they reject that? Or do they hold? The rotation now is probably between previous day and previous week. That's probably the rotation for a moment while they make up their mind. 50k subs, yeah, buddy. Congrats, Alex. 100k next. We appreciate the info and teaching daily, man. I would not be profitable without your insight. Thank you very much, my friend, and thanks for the coffee tip. We'll be getting a nice coffee today. Thank you, my friend. yeah, we hit 50k subs last night. I will speak to some of the props and set up a nice giveaway for that probably next week. It happened quicker than I thought. I put that new video out, I put a bit of money behind it, and suddenly the subs just went mental. So I'll be honest, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared. I was thinking it would happen in a month. So I will have to speak to them, or maybe we'll do like another monitor giveaway or $500 of cash or something. I don't know. We'll have a think and some prop firms. All right, semis, 55s, and ripping. They're pushing. Big level here. This is the rotation, remember. Previous day, value area low, previous week. If we come inside here, that is telling you, hey, market is going to not accept lower prices for previous week or previous day, and the rotation is possible, 560s, and then all the way up here, 700s. And I cannot rule it out. You cannot rule that rotation out. We've done it so many times. Bit like yesterday, really. Once we started, they just continued and continued and continued to push higher prices. All right, some selling coming in here. They tried. Oh, it's getting very wonky on this tape here. Very aggressive sellers just suddenly started showing up trying to walk down. Very aggressive. And again, there's liquidity up to 500. Not really sure why they got so antsy there at 75s. Yeah, through those 75s now. Why did they get so aggressive there? Someone got upset. And again. And again. They're trying to pile on here. They're struggling. They want to get back below previous week value. That's what they want to do. They're back under the New York Open. That's a rejection of previous day value area low. The rotation will be from previous day value area low to previous week value area low, which is what they're trying to do now. If they get acceptance back under previous week, then they can try and attack lower again. But yeah, we'll just have to see here, folks. I would imagine they chop here for a bit. Semi's coming back down. So rejected 55s. They're coming back to test that pivot. Now the pivot now is 51.5. If they get under 150 again, then you see weakness. Software back through VWAP. Mag back through New York VWAP, looking for 24-hour VWAP. So rotation starting here. They're starting to churn the 3 accounts again, like we talk about. All right, look, they're starting to churn. Let's pull this one back. Let's bid this one up. Let's bid this one up. All right. Market makers having fun here, churning and churning and churning. We don't want to get caught in a churn. We play alignment or we leave it the fuck alone. Chopped for 12 hours before here, mate. It's chopped for more than 12 hours before here. It's chopped for 3 months here, my friend. It's chopped here for 3 months. Why does liquidity follow price? 2 reasons. One, because you need liquidity providers, right? So the CME provides liquidity to the market, all right, so that we can actually move the market. And 2, yes, you will have certain algorithms which will, you know, if they're told, if a bank is told, hey, you need to buy 1 million contracts today at an average price of this, and if you can get a better price than that, great. They will literally bid following price, right? The big players in the game, that's how they're told. That's literally what they're told. Hey, I need you to fill in 1 million contracts, and I need the price to be at this or lower. Yeah. So like I said, chopping here now. We're at value area high for the day. We're at previous day value area low, previous week value area low. We're just going to chop between these for a bit while it makes its decision. Semis look strong here. They held that bid into that old pivot so far. Mag breaking through New York VWAP wants to test previous day's low potentially, and 24-hour VWAP software the same. This feels very close to breaking out upside and for a rip up here at the moment. I will not trade it until I see it move up and hold. I don't really want to just bid on this here. It's too dangerous, even though I feel like that's what it wants to do. I'm going to be very, very patient. It's going to have to show me that it's willing to reclaim value areas and base above, not base between. I'm going to be very disciplined with this here. Here's 24-hour VWAP coming up on the mag. Semis coming back down to test this pivot again for like the third time now. I'd say semis now, as long as they hold 150s, they can bid up. If they can hold 151.5, it's showing strength. And they just held it again, 51.5. Someone's going to get hurt here soon because we've gone sideways for a little while now. There is a seller caught at 58s, and there's a buyer caught at 80s. That's how tight it is. We're just going between those two big boys. And we just have to wait. Susan, why didn't I long? I think I've gone over it 5 million times. It's always the same names in here talking shit. It's always the same names. It gets boring, man. It's always the same names. At some point, if you continue to be an idiot after I've explained it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, I'll just ban you. So it's up to you. Same people as like every day. So either you or that other person who wants to be a trader has a stream where 4 people watches and comes in here and tries to talk shit. It's always the 2 of you. No, they didn't just join the chat. There's no way. It's the same people all the time. Patiently waiting now. Can't get above previous day value area low, but we can't get below previous week value area low. It is a chop zone now. Now we wait. And this is also current week value area low. If we reject this, we just have to see. It's very important. It's a very, very, very important level right here. I'll show you. This right here. All right, so we tested the edge of that daily zone, the 3-month daily zone. We bid back up to here. If they can't reclaim this, we're going to test this again. Outside breakers here, inside breakers, well, I'd say inside breakers this move here, like we talked about this morning. I'm not looking for longs until we can confirm that. It's just too dangerous. It's counter trend. You're too liable to get absolutely smacked. Why isn't it just a bull flag? Mate, you're too zoomed in to a lower time frame. I can already tell if you're saying that. It might well be, but the higher time frame, we're not in alignment to move back upside yet. And it wouldn't be a bull flag anyway. You'd need to be looking for a bigger move like a quasi. And you need it to protect this. Right, what you'd really need is something like this. If you're going to move upside, you need a retest of this, prove it can hold, break and hold, and then go. Stop being zoomed in to 1-minute time frames all the time. It's the biggest tip I can give you. Right, ES looking like it wants to close its gap. Did we just do that retest and hold on semis? Yeah, we just retested 151.5s and held. MAG breaking out now through 24 hours. So next level for MAG is basically its opening price, which I think is pre-market low. Yeah, it is. So MAGs will probably try and squeeze up to, I might as well call it 69s, 68, 90s. Buyer exhaustion starting to show itself up here. They're starting to get very, very fatigued up here, these buyers. We're starting to see delta divergence up here as well. So if they don't get the breakout soon, they're probably going to get hurt. What ticker name do I use for software? IGV, the ETF, right? You just want to use the ETFs for it. Again, no acceptance over previous day's value. Can't get back inside previous day's value at the moment. Here we go, back down to previous week value area low. The buyers will need to protect this. If they can't protect this, you'll see weakness start to enter the market. And if we stay heavy under it, it will start to hurt my interest. If they hold this, the only long I will consider is if they hold this, reclaim this, and then start looking for rotation. If we lose this level here, it's a clear rejection of previous day and previous week with buyers caught, and then I'm expecting that move back down there again. All right, that's why I'm being patient. We have to be patient as traders. Here's the value area low test, all right? And like I said, we're going to rotate between these two. It's what you're starting to see. So think about what we have right now. Weekly value traders are saying, hey, I really want to bid this. I don't want to lose this bid and move outside of weekly value and stretch weekly value. Daily value traders are trying to reject, all right? Or shorts are trying to reject this. This is also current week's value area low. So at the moment, like I talked about, can we find acceptance in previous day? No. Are we finding acceptance inside previous week? No. Are we finding acceptance inside current week? No. So what are we? We're in a sell. So why didn't I look for longs today? Because we're in a sell. We're in a sell, right? It's as simple as that. You're so focused on this move in a 1 minute time frame that you can't see the higher time frames. Now I'm going to show you H1 again and what we just talked about. And I'm going to look for shorts here once I stop teaching you guys. What's just happened? Oh my God, we're rejecting value. What's happened? Oh my God, we're rejecting last week's value. What are we in? We can build liquidity out here for a sell potentially. It's possible. The only long happens once we confirm and hold above this, right? I'm not going to scatter looking at lower time frame longs. That's how you're going to get hurt in this market. I'll wait for major confirmation on higher time frame. Yeah, socks all back to 150 again. Yeah, previous day low, that green line with VWAP. That's what makes the decision of an inside-outside bar, right? If they start selling here, I'm interested. Because they're just, again, they've made it very hard because we have to respect volume. Right, so buyers are currently caught here. This is equally weighted here. That's where we're bidding off. And from here, there are a few sellers down here where we covered. Remember, we covered down there. So we will wait now. If we pop this and fail, it's a good indication of maybe wanting to move lower. If we get through this and hold, I'm willing to be a buyer up there. So that's why I'm waiting. Okay, 150 still trying. They're trying desperately to bid 150 on the semis at the moment. MAG bidding up as well. Still trying to get to that pre-market low level we talked about. Software going flat at VWAP here, just struggling a little bit. Oh, okay, mate. I insult you. I've gone over it 5. Listen, if I go over something 5 times and you answer the same question, what do you want me to do? It gets boring. I insult you. You come here every day doing the same stuff. All you have to do is use your ears. All you have to do is use your ears. It's not my fault if you keep like flicking around between different people's chats looking for people who want to say what you like, what you need, and then you come here asking the same question. Either be here early, listen to what I say, or don't. Like, I'm here for free. I'm not here to answer the same question 100 million times on stream. It's not my job. No, we're not missing trades. Don't worry, we're not missing trades. This needs to build out liquidity. I'm waiting to see if pops fail here or not. Right? We don't want to be early because we can reclaim and hold everything. It's a very, very like tough area right now. We need to let it build out. We're not missing anything. If we see aggressive buyers come here, not get their way, we'll start to trade, which we're starting to see now. Here comes the selling. So if pops start to fail here, I will be interested. $150 over under here. Still just, we're at a very, very tight area here on the semiconductors. I just think MAG needs a retest 189.90s first. It needs to see if it gets back inside pre-market levels. I'll see if we pop up to 64 and I see buyers come in and not get their way, it will perk my interest. But I want to be very careful here. We do have relative weakness. The semis are at a very, very key level. And they're trying to support previous week value area low right now. So it's the same rotation I talked about. Here to here. But this level here now becomes important, 64. So if buyers fail to get it back inside 64, we can try small size for this move here and here. If they reclaim this, I'm willing to be a buyer above all of this. Here's the move towards 64s. ES breaking out. ES wants to close its gap by the look of it. 150 still being held, SOXL. Buyers coming in. There's liquidity higher at 95s. They're not walking down yet, so not really wanting to short this right now. I think they're going clean out. Here they go. So it's a bit like the story the other day. Like sellers just sit up high, not really applying pressure. Here comes a big buyer trying to walk up. Big seller coming there. 102 lot just got filled at POC. I wouldn't be surprised if we clean out now. ES going for gap fill. 150 held and being bid on SOXL, so nothing to do here. Like I said, I'm willing to bid if we start basing above inside previous day's value, not beforehand. It will need to show me that it wants to get inside yesterday's value. Otherwise, I'm not willing to be a bidder on this market. It's as simple as that. And I will just wait and wait and wait and wait. And those of you who get frustrated and want to click buttons all the time, you can do what you want. I'm going to stick to my rules. It's what gets me paid. You're forgetting that we've already made multiple 100 points this morning on the opening drive. Like I said, we drew this out. If they're willing to hold this, I literally drew this out for you. If they're willing to do this, I'm willing to be a buyer. If they're willing to do this, I'm willing to be a seller, right? And they're not doing this, and they're yet to do that. So we wait. We patiently wait. Huge cup and handle. There's nothing fucking huge going on here, mate. Oh my God, you guys are frustrating. We shorted here. We got that move. I'm ignoring this. We're not inside of value. Please stop. Like, you think this is huge? Get the fuck out of here. We've already had that. My God, man. It's mental. It's mental. I hope this fails now, just so that you can just stop with the nonsense. Just stop. I'm not interested. If it carries on, I'm going to turn chat off again. And then just no questions get asked again. It just gets boring. It's so boring at this point. All right, ES coming up to fill its gap. 150 strength still holding here in semis. MAG really strong. MAG now at that pre-market low I talked about. 68.90 to 69. That's important now for the MAG. Now, if they reject that, it's a clear indication of inability to move upside. Software's doing absolutely nothing. $150 retest again, semis. Sellers trying to come in here, trying to rotate it again. 150 break here on semis. MAG pushing upside. So rotation into MAG, out of semis at the moment for the last few minutes. Big level here. If we start failing previous week on, hurt my interest. If we get above previous day value, hurt my interest. Until that point, not interested in becoming liquidity in this zone. MAG really starting to drive here. What's leading that? Apple leading that. 1% up now on Apple. So red to green on Apple and starting to drive. And MAG now about to break out of highs. Software doing nothing. So again, rotation in here. There goes the MAG, look. Right, so semi-selling, MAG rips, IGV doing nothing. Continuing to rotate this market. All these sellers are up at 500. I want to see if it can push up here and then bid over it and hold. Then I'll be interested if it does that. 150 reclaim semis. ES going to close its gap. MAG really good drive through 69s now. Strength in the MAG. Still just waiting. Nothing to do. Happy to wait as long as it needs. Apple and Google driving this move at the moment. Apple now 1.06% up. Google approaching 1% up. Amazon 0.57% up. Microsoft 0.19% up. Tesla 0.28% down. Nvidia weak 1.66% down. Dixie's still holding on. And still they churn these levels. Remember this blue line here, current week value area low. This is previous day value area low. This is previous week value area low. These are very, very important levels for sentiment. Do not want to get chopped between these levels. I'm going to wait as long as it takes. Yes, you're talking about, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about this cup and handle. Yes, but we are not finding acceptance above this yet. All right. So if they want to come up here, they can. But I'm going to respect what's gone on here for the 100th millionth time. Maybe they get this move like I talked about. It's very possible. But at the moment, they can't get above and inside yesterday's value, can they? No, they can't, because it's here. When they get into value, they can start looking for the rotation to these levels, like I've talked about a million times. Well done for seeing a pattern, but can you understand that we're not finding acceptance yet? Oh my God. Now please, will you shut the fuck up? Fuck me. It's very possible it moves up there once it finds acceptance. I'm not against it doing that move, and I'll join that move once it finds acceptance. My Lord. Why? Why do you do this to me every morning? Why? Shut chat down now. Okay, easy, done. There you go. Off. And we just focus on trading. Pulling back here, starting to see a little peak formation here on MAG. Semi still desperately trying to hold 150. Very, very tight there. 150 is the over-under for sure. Software starting to try and hold VWAP for that breakup side. So we'll see if they go pro trend and they push semis and they push software and they push the MAG, then we'll see the breakout. So that's your first push. We'll see if they find acceptance though. That was instantly sold into. There is lots of liquidity up here. Let me just zoom out. Yeah, instant rejection up there. They cannot find acceptance inside of value. Getting tighter and tighter and tighter. This is my no trade zone. Not interested in trading that. Yeah, it's not quite filled the gap. Rejected just in front of the gap. Did spiders fill it? No, spiders didn't fill it either. So coming to neutral zone on gamma. Software breaking out. MAG pulling back. 150 still being traded on semiconductors. No change. Still we sit still. Right, outside of this grey box, if buyers can't hold this low volume node and they now start to reject 66s, that'll be a failed break, failed acceptance of value, and then we'll start to rotate back down to here, which is why we're being patient. So lots of people think it has to do this and it has to do that, and the only thing that's truth in the market is what happens, not what we hope happens, what happens. And if we start to break downside underneath 25s, which would be previous week value area low, then I'd expect this market to rotate right back down. Right, so at the moment, It's a clear rejection of previous day's value area low. We cannot get back inside of value like I've talked about. We now have a significant node up here towards 66. So this is going to be an under over 66 to 74. If they start defending this now, I'll look for downside pressure. It'd be much easier if ES had filled its gap first. There's a good rejection of 60s. And I'll start to add on if we can come under 420s. So I've got a tiny piece on short. And I'll just scratch it if we reclaim 60s at break even. And if we come under 25s, I'll start to lean on this. And then maybe, just maybe, people in chat will listen to me. Here's a value again. So break even now on this. If they reclaim, it's fine. If we come under here, we're going to see weakness. I've just got a tiny piece on early, just in case. And if we break out, I take it off, break even, and I'll get in the longs if we base above 500, not beforehand. Downside pressure coming in this market. 150 failing on SOXL. Lows coming here for a snap, potentially at 48.5 SOXL. Big level here. So you can always take a partial here into 24s if you just want to scalp between 60s and 24s, because this is the level which they will try and bid on, right? And I'm not going to add heavy. So I'm tiny, 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 tiny size here. And I'm not going to add on until I see this. And I will cut it on a reclaim of this. And I'll get long if I see this. And I will add short if I see this. And I will do nothing else here. Very, very, very simple. We are rotating value areas. Neutral zone on gamma for ES, very important here at 605s as well. MAG starting to pull back into pre-market lows. So what happens here on MAG is going to become important. I've paid myself a bit into previous week value area low. My stop's break even at 60s. Well, it's at 65s. So it's just above break even. And if we stay heavy under 20s and 25s, I'll consider adding. So squeeze back up. So getting ready to stop out on the break even. As I said, ES needs to close that gap first. It's holding neutral zone. Semis 160 is the level. Sellers not walking down from 85, so getting ready to cut this because they're trying to drift this up to 85 now. There we go, cut there. And we wait and see for the same thing if we find acceptance outside of range. MAG good, hold a pre-market low. 150 rejection on a retest there for semiconductors. So they're trying to bid MAG, sell semis now, and they're bidding IGV as well. So the rotation continuing right here. Look how messy this is getting now. Let's do it 1 minute. All right, getting very close. So there goes the semi sell. There goes the IGV bid. There's the pullback and bid on MAG. All right. We are rotating, 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 rotating. That's what's happening right now. Nothing's changed. ES trying to fill its gap. It's desperate to fill its gap. SPY, we have divergence between SPY and ES for the gap fill. SPY is going to have to go a decent chunk further into its call wall, which is at 55s on the spiders. IGV absolutely ripping here. All right, POC here. I just don't want to trade this area. I could argue that I should have moved my stop higher, but happy to take break evens when trading, trying to trade range like that. And this is the story of the tape. If you bought this without acceptance, you're trapped. If you sold here without acceptance, you're trapped. This is the liquidity build. What did we say when we came up here? We're going to rotate from previous day to previous week. There's the rotation. You could argue my stop should have been higher there, but there we go. I just have to wait again now. I don't want to trade that grey box. Don't know which direction it wants to go in. I'm going to have to wait for it to prove. Definitely seeing positive moves here for buyers. Sellers looking a little bit exhausted into that 450. We're starting to see delta divergence at previous week value area low. So there's a good chance if they can get a shove up here that they can get moving. ES going for the gap fill. Max still going sideways here. Pull back held. It's got an inside bar on a 5 minute here. So semis are starting to develop a shelf at 48. So we've put multiple wicks down there at 48. They can't get back through to 150. That's still your over under for sentiment for the day, I'd say, in semiconductors. Still building out the liquidity. All right, gap now filled on ES, not filled on SPY. So we have divergence there between the ETFs and the futures market. So the futures market has filled its gap. SPY has not. Been here so long, I'm surprised they haven't done a move one way or the other. We're approaching an hour in a tight range here between value levels. Now, if they do trigger the long here, if they are able to do this move here, we need to be taking profit into IB high and here. And then runners will be all the way up here for a rotation of value. Right, but we will respect high of day and we will respect this move towards 600. Even 560 to 600 is a big level. If we sell this today, if we come under here and they can't find acceptance and we start seeing pressure here under this, we'll look for a rotation and we will respect 350s and we'll respect low of day. So it'd be partial runners. All right. We have to be patient. It is building out a huge amount of liquidity here. Yes, pulling back after filling that gap. I wonder if it's safe to turn the chat on. Probably not, because you're probably all saying, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, it's going to be this, it has to do this, because you just don't have the ability to wait for some reason. Still ranging. Still ranging. I'll remind you, we had the low hanging fruit trade today. All right. We were looking for drives 560 to 600 to fail, to come back under 500 to get short. This was our short. That was our cover point. It was runners beyond that. All right. That was the low hanging fruit trade. We don't know now. We are now building liquidity versus these levels. If we fail this, there's a rotation. If we claim this, there's a rotation. These are all about value rotations now. It's not about anything else other than value rotations. And I'm telling you, it all depends on these semis at these 48 levels. MAG still an inside bar, about to close its new 5-minute bar. So MAG has developed an inside bar here, new 5-minute bar coming now. It would depend which way we start to break out. We're back down to previous week value area low again. Again, if they find acceptance under this, I'm going to look short side. Said the same thing all day. If we find acceptance under this, I'm looking for short side, and I'll have to be very careful for the covers. There's the break. So we'll see. Do they start to sell versus 20s to 37s now? Bids are trying to protect 400, which is also previous day low down there. And if we break previous day low, we go outside bar on the daily. All right, so I'm trying to see if I can get into this now if pops start to fail. MAG letting go, software letting go, and rotation and semis letting go. So this is all depends now. I'm starting to get feather in short here, like I said, versus previous week value area low. And I'll be very tight with my stops and very careful. They are bidding 400, and if we move under previous day value area low, we're going to move down towards low of day. And I don't hate to say it, but I fucking told you so. And one day, instead of fighting me, you'll just listen to a trader who's done this for a long, long time, trying to stop you getting in at bad areas. Because I don't do it for me, I do it for you. All right, covered a piece here into previous day low. And we'll see if they lean on 20s now, 20s to 30s. If they reclaim, we cut. And if they don't, then we lean on it to go lower. But we have to be very careful here. We expect buyers now to protect 64s, right? Like I said, the hard thing now is how they built liquidity. So we paid ourselves some here. Here's the break. We pay ourselves some here in this area. Here's the break. We pay some here. They might retest. If we get this, we pay some here. If we get lucky, we get down here. If they reclaim this, we cut. We do not long until we find confirmation above all of this, right? It's very, very, very simple. Once we get out of this trade, I'll turn chat on. Guarantee. Hopefully some of you have listened. Maybe some of you haven't and you're now in drawdown. Maybe you just learn the hard way. I don't know. It feels like traders have to learn the hard way all the time. So focused on micro patterns, they don't understand who's trapped. It's like the biggest lesson newer traders refuse to understand is who's trapped in the market, right? We're starting to see lower prices here. So I'm looking for my next cover towards 360 here. I've already paid myself some. We're not finding acceptance back inside previous week's value. We're certainly not finding acceptance back inside previous day's value. We are at previous day's low. If we stay heavy here, we are an outside bar on the daily. We will look to cover some at 360. All right, software likely to find a bid soon, as are the MAG as they drift down towards their VWAPs, right? So they're both putting peak formations and they're coming back down towards support systems at VWAPs. If they can't find bids at VWAPs on software and MAG, we will get continued follow through. And guess what? SOXL is getting fucking nuked. Absolutely nuked. So now trading 46.5. So any pop now on SOXL which fails 48 to 48.5, likely to be sold for a rotation to low of day. That 150 was your over under, but you know, what do I know? Just a stupid old man who tries to help you with glasses on YouTube. What the fuck do I know? And you're out here is basically your break even. A reclaim of this here, 23s, somewhere there. You can move it. You could say 40s if you want to give it a bit more risk. Reclaim of that, you're out on the short. Okay. Right. Coming into cover points here, 64 is the next zone. Well, ideally 64, but anywhere here is good. This is a low volume node. Here we expect buyers to protect that. All right. So we're in scalp mode now. We get under that, we can think about low of day. But we're protecting our profits here. And then we're in runners. And then if we get expansion down here, it would be a daily and a 3-month expansion. Here we go. So into our next cover point here, towards the 65s. We're almost there. Don't be a dick for a tick, right? Pay yourself some money. Value buyers on the day will want to bid this, okay? They will want to bid this. If they fail to hold the bid here, we'll move lower. As we come into here, we have markets moving into VWAPs, all right? So MAGs moving into VWAP might bid there. Software moving into VWAP might bid there. ES moving into VWAP might bid there. Here we go. Here's our next target, all right? So we're down to runners now. I get frustrated because I'm just like, how does this benefit me arguing with you all this morning over this when I feel like I have to do it every day? Like, I don't understand. Who am I doing this for the benefit of? Like, it's certainly not for me. Please, guys, you have to understand, I've done this a long time, a really long fucking time. I've made every fucking mistake in the book. I've blown tens of thousands of dollars in single trades and single days by fighting markets and not waiting for confirmation. If I'm telling you why I'm waiting for something, it's because I know I've learned my fucking lesson, right? I've learned my lesson being like, oh, I'm just going to buy that, or I'm going to buy that without. I've learned my lesson now. I've done it. I've been there and done it, guys. I'm telling you so you don't have to learn from the pain points that I've learned from. All right, big buyer coming in here, and he's not getting his way. We do have unfinished auctions up at 400. I wouldn't actually mind a retest all the way back up to my entry point up at value area low right now, just to see if they want to keep it heavy. We're starting to develop a bid here, like I talked about, at the VWAPs, on the MAG, and on software. Okay, so we're likely to see a bid back up here. Like I said, we're in alignment down to that area. It's likely that we bid here, even if it's a short-term bid. All right, you've hit your main targets. We wait now to see if this pop back up is sold into. I wonder if it's safe for me to turn chat on now. Maybe. All right, so value being bid here. Sellers will want to defend up towards 36. If they're unable to do that, we're going to go back inside the range again for the day, and they will have another attempt at getting back up here. Very, very simple. There you go. There's the bid on IGV. There's the bid on semis, on MAG. All right, so you should be short versus sort of 20s here. And if we start to reclaim 20s to 40s, you want to cut the trade, all right? Because you've paid yourself. Here's the low-hanging fruit. What do we say? 65s, right? We got it. We got the trade, or 64s. We got it. It happened. Low-hanging fruit's gone. We take the easy money in this market, right? We take the points when they're there at the key levels. We don't fight it. Really strong bid off VWAP on both MAG and software here. Very strong bid off VWAP, as expected. Right, here's back towards the entry point now. So it's very simple. Sellers defend this and look to expand value lower for the day. Sellers fail to defend this, and we will rotate from previous week value area low back up to current day point of control and potentially previous day value area low again. All right, so this is it. They either defend this or we're going to go right back up here again. Very, very simple. Big seller coming in here. And I doubt he gets his way at this point. I think we probably move back into point of control higher at this point, because the bid has come in on those VWAPs like we talked about. So I can show you what I'm looking at on IGV, right? Make you understand, right? The sell came, right, from peak formation, and we bid VWAP, all right? So we were selling, timing this move here. There's the bid, right? MAGs, the selling started, and we came back to VWAP. There's the bid, right? This is your over-under now. This is sentiment. Reclaim this, squeeze if possible. Fail this, come back down. Right, this is where it's an important thing. And if we go to the SOXL, all right, we failed the 150s. We failed to reclaim 150s. We failed the shelf at 48s. We sold back down. 48 becomes important now. If they reclaim 48s, they go 150s. If they reject 48s, we come down 47s and potentially crack 47s for lower. All right. It is all about timing. All right, wonky here on the tape. Very wonky all of a sudden on the tape here. Not surprisingly, because this is all about the battle for value again. All right, back inside previous week. So I'm now flat on this. See if they beat previous week here now, and they will try and drive up. There you go. So they're going to try and go all the way up to 66 to 80s. And if they get through that, they're going to go for previous day value area low again, which is basically the 500. So this shelf up here now is important, right? And if buyers get out neutral here, we rotate. And if they have enough strength here, we can think about this move then, right? Now that we've undercut, if we see this, we can think about this move now. Right, hour left. I'm going to turn chat on now. Let's hope people are okay. All right. Did any of you catch that? The short with me. Be honest. How many of you got lured into a long when it wasn't ready? And how many of you were patient and took the short and took the TPs at the level? That's what you guys say. Yeah, lots of you took it, which is good. Hit all the TPs. Nice. RIP. Well, hopefully just learn your lesson. Just learn the lesson, like not in a horrible way, like just learn the lesson. Wait for confirmation, right? Understand who's trapped in the market and wait for confirmation. So all you've got to do is like the best thing possible you can do. Got 500, nice work. Nice work, folks. Looks like lots of you got it. All right, now we're back into battle zone again, right? See this battle zone again. This is because you've got weekly value players against daily value players. This is the no trade zone, remember. We trade here, downside pressure. Reclaim here, we chop. Above here, upside relief possible. Exactly the same as in here. It's exactly the same. The only thing now I'd say for bulls is they've undercut, held value, and have a better chance of this move now because they've held value with an undercut. So much better setup for longs now if they can get back above. Much, much better. All right, semis at the 150. You out, bro? 100 times 5 for the day. Nice work. That's good work. Yeah, lots of you made your money. Good. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Your job, remember, this is the other thing with trading. This is the thing a lot of people get wrong. Your job is to A, protect capital, and B, make money, ideally with good trades, right? Your job is not to guess what the market's going to do. It isn't. We don't guess. We can create thesis of what the market is looking to do, but we have to respect what the market has done. Not what it's looking to do, has done. So this is why this becomes important. The market has failed to get inside of previous day's value this morning. The market has failed to get inside of previous week's value this morning. Anyone who is a buyer in here is trapped. We trade weakness downside. The market comes in, builds liquidity in here. The market is still failing to get above previous day value area low. All right, it's failing to get back inside of the rotational range. There is potential for downside pressure in this market. All the time it fails to get to do that. Why? Because anyone who was a buyer yesterday or even overnight is trapped, aren't they? Anyone who was a buyer in yesterday's value or even overnight is currently trapped, right? So we're leaning on them, all right? We're leaning on them for lower prices right now. why we do not stay zoomed into the M1. I'm like, genuinely, I do not want any of you to lose. I want you to do well. I'm trying my best to help you. I just get frustrated when I have to battle so much. Okay, bleeding coming. We can look for another trade here if it sets up. There is a buyer at these lows at 75s who last protected the market down here. So just take the delta when we last came into there. 75s. Come on. All right, 176 lot down there. So that's his pain point. He's actually at 77.25. And we see. Again, it's the same thing if we leave this or not. The hard thing today, all right, the hard thing now is we've created this, all right, and we can rotate this as you've seen, all right. We need to find acceptance under this really for a bleed, and they can bear trap down here. No doubt about it, they can. Yeah, if there's anything you take from me, and it's what I teach everyone if you do the course with me or you're in Discord, it's zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. All right, you have to zoom out. What's the daily doing? What's the weekly doing? All right, we're under previous day low now. I'll tell you now, if this buyer at 77.75 loses the bid, he's going to be in big trouble, and he's 164 lot, and he might start covering. So I'll see if we can lean on this now for downside pressure. SOXL coming down into its pivot low here. So if that loses the bid, it's going to be in problems. IGV's holding the bid at VWAP. Not too bothered about that. I'm more focused on the MAG and SOXL here. That's what's moving the market. So we'll see if pops start to fail here again. I've got to turn this aircon off. Give me a second. I know you guys hate me. You hate me for telling you stuff, but it comes from a place of love. I just get frustrated. It really does. It really does. I don't want anyone here to fail. All right, into the put wall here. This is the big level that buyers will want to protect. They fail here, we're going to probably wash towards low of day. So previous day low now failing. So we're now on an outside bar. Pain point here for the buyer. He last came in at 77.25, right? So he's a 166 aggressive buyer down there. And if he starts getting out the way, he's going to start panicking and he'll start becoming a seller, and we can maybe sell through this to lows. All right, so we'll see. This is a big point now for the market. We're in outside bar now. Look, we're outside previous day's low. We're outside previous week's value area low. We're outside previous day value area low. All right, so weekly traders are out the money. Daily traders are out the money. Daily traders are out the money. If we stay heavy here, we're going to see downside pressure. It's all about this pivot here now. It's all about that. Low volume node, this is where we did the W breakout. We can break out, pull back, they can trap bears and come inside. So while we don't want to be short here, we want it to be short here, and maybe now we have to be short here if they pop up for us. Yeah, Daddy's Tough Love. Damn right. It was my DJ name. It's exactly what I am. Tough Love. I'll tell you how it is. There won't be any gray area with me. You can get upset and get offended by it, or you can just try and like yeed my experience and be like, well, he's trying to stop me getting hurt, and that's that. Why do I look at SOXL? I think it's got a bit more volume. So at the moment, there are more, I don't know if you guys know this, there are more individual ETF names on the market right now traded than there are stocks. Okay. The triple leveraged are being traded more than the standard equal weighted, right? The triple leveraged are being traded more. Now, I'm going to assume that's retail. I'm going to assume it's retail. So I'm interested in what's happening to retail, where they're getting hurt, right? All right, let's see if we come up towards 400 here. Well, at the moment, we're rejecting that old buyer down here at 77. So if I pull this in, this buyer here is a little bit caught. These guys here are really caught, right, which is previous week value area low. So if we can drift back up towards previous week or even previous day low, and we trap more buyers there, I'll consider it. It's a very, very tough position to be short here at value area low for the day. The way they've built this out is very, 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 very hard to get short against. So we're going to have to see a considerable amount of volume traded. ES is holding its VWAP up as well. IGV's bidding, MAG's bidding off VWAP. Semi's not quite broken that next shelf. So I'm going to be very patient here. Let this build back up, see if they trap buyers or not. I'm not going to jump the gun. Not interested in jumping the gun. We've had two really nice trades here today. You should be up well over 100 points with me today. If not, if you caught all the trades, you're probably up almost 300 points. Which is not bad going. One single platform to buy a 50k account with. Who should I go with? Have you traded futures before? First thing I'd ask you is, have you traded futures before? And then I'll give you the answer. Do you know how to trade? That's not me being an asshole. It's for a reason. It's all about cost. If you've traded futures before or you know how to trade, I'd go with Lucid and I'd go with the Flex account. If it's new to you, you don't know how to trade. You muted the chat, so we didn't take the trade. So this is how I know you're a bit of an asshole. This is how I know. I didn't mute the chat. I turned chat off so I couldn't read it. And I still continue to call it. So here we go. You've done a really good job of being a clown. And congratulations. You're gone. Goodbye. We will never see you again. Good luck with that. I warned you. I gave you enough chances. You're gone for good now. You're your own enemy. It's always the same people. I would advise you go into Khan's chat. He's probably got 4 people watching him how to trade badly right now. Maybe go over there. It might suit you. Sue! All right, pressure coming here. Previous day low rejecting here. Pressure coming in this market. There's a little imbalance down here into 52s. And you will now want sellers to defend 77s. And guess what? SOXL approaching low of day here. So previous day low rejecting. We're now an outside bar. You'd want this to stay heavy around here, 77s, 80s. If they stay heavy there, you're going to see downside pressure all the way down here towards this 320-ish. Can I finish answering the gent's question? What did I miss? Man, there's so many questions. What did I miss? What question did I miss? Sorry. How many points are we up? Well, everyone in chat should have got short at 50, 500 break for this move. I got knocked out a piece here, so we got 100 points. Some people got 200. And then hopefully everyone in chat ignored all this and listened to me and got a short here and should be short again versus previous day low, looking for this now. So trade 1, trade 2, trade 3, and we'll see how low we can go. Again, why are we trading lower? High time frame, higher time frame. Yeah, sorry. Was the question about the account to get? Look, if you're new to futures or you've never traded before, go with Apex. All right. I'll tell you why I'm saying that. You're likely to blow up. You're really likely to blow up. You're really likely to make mistakes. So you can get Apex right now for $19 or something for an eval. Great way to start, right? It's a cheap way to get in the game, have some skin in the game, see how you go. If you know how to trade, then I'd go with Lucid or Take Profit Trader. All right, so code FZT right now at Lucid will get you 40% off, I believe, maybe even more if you're brand new. Take Profit will get you 40% off, no activation fee with code FlowZone, and at Apex code FZT will get you 90% off. That's what I'd say right now. Apex are only good if you're looking to scale 20 accounts, right? If you're looking to take multiple payouts, they're good. Or if you're brand new and you just want some skin in the game for $19 and just to learn, that's where they're really good. Literally can't make any more money today. I'm going to blow my consistency. Thank you. That's what I like to hear. What do I think about Tradeify? Tradeify also really good. It's them or Lucid's a coin flip. I just prefer Lucid because they pay out quicker and just prefer the back end of the platform. But you can use FZT at Tradeify as well. All the guys are down below that I trade with. Apex right now is cheapest, no activation, 49. It does, but that no activation, remember, that's a trailing drawdown account, not a end of day. I don't use Tradecopia, no. I use affordable indicators. I think it's much better. FundingX, yeah, FundingX good. Oh, I keep forgetting to buy those. Did a video on it and haven't bought it. I need to go and buy those. Yeah, Lucid's like what Top Step was at the beginning. Yeah, I agree. All right, that's a good rejection of 78s. All right, that buyer is remaining trapped here. All right, so you're going to see downside pressure continue all the time. That buyer at 77, 78 is trapped. There's liquidity down to 315. They're trying to fill this down lower now. So I'd expect all pops to fail here versus sort of 80s, maybe 90s. You got to be careful. ES coming into New York Open and VWAP as well. SOXL, we would like a low of day break on SOXL. That will help us just bleed more and more and more and more here. But, you know, you should have already paid yourself some and you're just trying to see how low we can go. The next target really is 320. Once we get under 320, we can think about low of day. And I'm pretty sure I drew this all out for you. I'm pretty sure I drew this all out for you. If you rewind the video. If a prop firm asks to partner with me, I get offers every single day. So the first one is, have they got a track history? Right? Have they got a good track history? Secondly, do they work with Tradeify and NinjaTrader? If they don't, I'm not interested. Not at all. Because I know, all right, I partner with Tradeify and NinjaTrader. I know they do their due diligence. They do not take any shit. So if they don't work with them, it's a big no-no for me. It's a big red flag. Those are like the main two things. And then it's about, you know, is their product good? Are they offering something different? Have they got track history of actually paying out? Or are they just a brand new firm on the scene looking to squeeze money out of people? I'm not interested in that, because how many prop firms do you need? Not that many. Exactly. I don't work with Alpha as a prime example why. It's my take on Alpha. I think they've told some porcupines. If I'm honest, I think they've probably lied about a few things. I think it's pretty simple. They had a liquidity problem. They launched a product. Traders did too well at that product. Here's the retest of that buyer, by the way, at 78. All the time you're heavy versus 78 to 90, you're good to sit in this. If they reclaim 78 and 90, it's probably a cut, folks. They had a liquidity issue. They launched a product. Traders did too well at that product. They cancelled that product. Because traders did too well and they were paying out too much money and it was costing them too much, they then got behind on payments with Tradeify and NinjaTrader. So they were behind millions and millions of dollars. Then they stopped paying people out. And then everything else happened. They're saying now that they're going to pay people out. I'll believe it when I see it. I doubt it. I think it's probably the writing's on the wall. And also, when you're going to start launching your own platform, the writing's also on the wall. It's Top Step 2.0. Right? It would be a shit platform and it would have issues. I don't like anyone that tries to push their own platform. It's monopolization. It's problematic. All right. If you've listened to some recent interviews, there are prop firms trying to do it so that they can slow down processing and orders, or can we make it delayed by half a second of data? Can we slip them by this much? No. We don't do that. That's why we work with Tradeify and Ninja. We need direct access to CME without any bollocks going on. Isn't it illegal? I'm sure it is illegal, yeah. But I'm sure they can just find some grey area and say, oh, it's just delayed data, or there's a reason for this, or da-da-da. That's why you have to be very careful. It's why we don't trade CFDs. Same reason. They will slip you. Big sellers coming in down here, and if they don't get their way, you're going to see a clean out to 400. So if you can't hold this buyer trapped, you're going to see relief rally back up towards previous day low, maybe all the way up to 22s. So it's probably a cut here and a wait. You see how this low volume node being protected for now. What's wrong with Top Step? Well, the prices are worse. The package is worse. The tech is worse. I don't get why anyone would trade with them over other firms now. They've done everything that they said they weren't going to do. They've lost their edge. They've lost their edge in the market. They're not the worst firm, but they've definitely lost their edge, right? Previous day low rejection there, back under this buyer. It's a big, big level here. We have a bundle of sellers piling in here from 70 to 83s. So we stay heavy under that, then they're comfortable. Software trying to break out. Mag holding a bid at VWAP trying to push upside here. I don't know if we're going to get a bleed here. It all depends on if there's an undercut or if they hold here on semis. Looks like they're trying to hold. We've got 40 minutes left. Big, big level down here now, folks. Lots of participation starting to happen down here. Big, big, big level. Here comes the lift. If buyers find acceptance at value here, they will try and rotate. I'd love to just see this go low of day. We're going to need alignment here. All right, so this, they're trying to hold a bid here. We'd like to see this sell back off. Mag going sideways. We'd like to see it sell off. IGV, we don't care about too much. This one matters, though. We'd like to see this break lows. Is there a way of getting these tighter together? No. I don't have experience with wealth charts. I don't. I've heard good things, though. I mean, they should be good. The guy's got a lot of experience, but I have never traded with them personally. Football acting as support? Well, we're under it at the moment. We're under it at the moment. It's just there's a lot of orders flying in here. I'd love to see a new low of day here. Mag back to VWAP. This is really matters. If Mag lets go of VWAP and semi start letting go, we are going to see a nasty snap down here. So I'm just trying to like hope that we can do that. Positioned for it in case, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. How do we get a chart with Mag and IGV? This, you type Mags, and then you press this sign here, compare, and then you type IGV. All right, so if I was going to do, I don't really want to do another one in, but it would look like this, and say, I don't know, what else would we put in there? What's relative strength today? XLF. Right, and then you'd go, you click on it to add, and it would add it in there. I'm not going to do it because I don't want it on my chart because we don't have that in NQ. Bullnox, yeah, Bullnox good. Not one of the top firms, but it's good. Nine months in wealth charts, no complaints. There you go. Blue Sky, I've not traded with. I don't want to give a comment on. I can't comment on them. Never traded with them. Do I use leverage with swings? No, cash positions. Unless I'm taking leaps, cash positions. Mainly taking cash positions. Main reason for that is a lot of my swings positions are in a tax efficient count, so I have to take a very occasionally. If I will take like a 2 to 3 day swing, like you would have seen me long XOSS, made some good money on that. Very occasionally I'll do it on something like that. Pops are still failing here. That buyer is still caught here from this morning. That's 77. But we're not expanding value lower yet. No, I've not tried wealth charts. Like I said, I've not tried them. Heard very good things. I haven't traded them. Right, reclaim of previous day low will be a squeeze up to previous week value area low, and I'll not hold on above previous day low. Thanks for the coffee, mate. Top 40 brand. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Why is Donald tweeting again? I just missed that. Oh no! Please tell me no. Please tell me no. All right, out of this now. Do I use Sierra charts or Sierra trading website for footprints? No, I don't. I only trade on Ninja. So this is my indicator Spectra Pro. You can get it on my website. Right, so if you zoom into this, you'll get the footprint in each one. Right, this is Ninja Trader. This is my custom indicator. It's a one-time fee. Prices will go up next year. Okay, here's the reclaim. So they're going to try and come all the way up to value area high. So what we're going to get is a big D. What did I say the other day? Good traders don't trade. What did I say? Don't trade a D. I don't like a D. I hate the Ds, man. No time for the Ds, man. All right, what's he saying? Man, is Downing Street really commenting on the Falkland Islands? Just leave it alone, mate. Just going to make the whole thing even more heated. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I don't see any news here. It feels like the feed's gone though. Check. I can log into the financial juice. Where's my mouse? And my feeds are all down. Is there a data issue? Maybe a data issue. What's this? It's just rotation. Right, rotation. All right, so now back inside previous week. And I'll try and get up to previous day, which is also current day. Rotation. I'm not interested in trading in here anymore. Made our money today. Easy money's gone. Easy money's gone. Please show your indicators. How do I draw those levels? What levels? What levels do you mean? For the purchase of the course, what do I recommend? Beginner to advanced course, and then the volume flow and volume profile and order flow course. If you want Spectra, then obviously that. All depends what you trade on. These washy candles, push up and then walk down. Right, buyers will want to protect 390s here. If they can't, they're in trouble. Big rejection on ES of IB high. Big rejection there of IB high. We are just going to keep rotating here. I'd like to see this move to low of day, but we can't trade this now. How they've built out liquidity, it's too dangerous. It's this is the market Alex avoids, right? So just think about this with the nodes now. It's too dangerous here now. Oh my God, can we draw it? We didn't even get to this. Right, under here, weakness, but then we'd be shorting at value area low for the day. They've set it up really poorly. Do I still use delta divergence? Yes, my friend, I do. You just can't see it on here, but it's here. Right, it's here. And I've also been working on an indicator which will literally say, right here, seller exhaustion, delta divergence. It literally says it. Right, it's not ready yet. It's not quite right yet. I've been working on one. You copied the settings on anchored volume profile and it doesn't look the same. You might not pay for tick data. All right. So if it doesn't look the same, I always say, if you don't have tick data, go to numbers of rows and set it to 1,000. I can't show you the unfinished auction right now because there isn't one. But it would just do a line on your chart. Big fails, man. Oh my God. Back to value area low. This is so ugly. I feel like we're going to wash, but there's just no entry now. Big buyer coming in here at the low. Yeah, they've just rebid. So 77, they've just rebid that like 4 times down there aggressively. There's no entry now. Can't play an entry now. Well, like for you guys, you can play a range rotation. Obviously, I don't play range rotation, so I'm trying to avoid that. So it's still like they've been very aggressive down here. So you guys being very aggressive defending this right now. We've got to be very careful here. I'm going to remind you on the daily, like we have to be very careful. This is what we said this morning. All right, outside bar on the daily. Pressure for outside bar. Pressure for rejection of current year's value area high. If we reject that and we come under this grey box, we can look for that. If we don't see that and they come back inside, right, then we stay very, very tight in here. This is point of control for the last 3 months, right? This is from the pivot high from May since we got up here. This is like this chop here, right? This is the block. This is the POC. We're weak under the POC at the moment, but we're still holding the edge of this block. This market will start. Look how the Bollinger's starting to come, right? If we stay heavy here this week, you're going to see this move. If they fake it and reclaim, these are going to continue to get tighter. And at some point, one of these is going to happen. The only thing I can guarantee is that at some point, everyone in here is going to get wrecked. What we have to do as day traders is be very, very patient and position ourselves with the correct risk for these moves. Or for this move, right? What we don't want to do is over leverage into key levels. It will come when it comes, and it's probably going to be earnings, guys. I've said it the whole time. I think it's going to be earnings. And if we do that, right, the measured move from here to here, the measured move is to here. I can literally show you. We've done a 100% move. Right, watch the expansion. 100% move, right, from 2025 high to 2026 low, 100% move. Bang. All right. Beyond that, where's our RBS zone? Old high. We still haven't retested old high, really. I don't know if we come back for that, but we haven't retested it. If we look at the measured move of this range, a 161 extension will get us, oh God, don't move that. Will get us into there. Right, a 161 extension will get us into there. A 161 extension or a 61 extension upside will get us into 32,400. Right, so we're watching to see if we get a breakout either side and which target we're then looking for. I'd love this. Personally, I'd love that. Why? Because we've got the 200-day SMA, we've got an RBS. That gives me a chance to load the boat, swing long, and look for this into 2027, 2028. I'd personally love that. Sometimes a geezer, Chuck, always a fucking Ebenezer geezer, mate. Always a geezer. Always a fucking geezer. All traders from London's are fucking geezers, mate. Geezers. You ever go out on a Thursday night and East London. Spivvy suits with with submariners and 10 pints of lager and a curry spilt down them. That's what you'll see. The buy and sell signals are not positions. These are momentum. This is momentum. This is how momentum builds in the chart. All right. When we go into a range and we do this, we ignore momentum charts because we're not seeing one. When we go into trends, all right, there's your pullback. All right, trending market's much easier. Pullback into a sell, into a pullback, into a sell. Now we're into a range. Into a sell. We ignore this. All right. We focus on the trends when we're playing momentum. Much easier. How was your England versus Argentina buddy night? How was yesterday? Well, it was dreadful, but I don't... Here's my take on it. First of all, congratulations, Argentina. First and foremost, we have to congratulate them. They deserve to go through. They deserve to go through. Did I think they were the better team? No. I'd say for 60 minutes, they weren't the better team. It's on Tuchel. It's on the coach. Unfortunately, he might not like that, but it is. I don't blame the players. I thought for the first 60 minutes, we quietened them down. We dominated the midfield. We created chances. We scored. Before we scored, I was shouting and texting my mates being like, Gordon's having an off day. Gordon's touch yesterday was fucking terrible. His final touch constantly was terrible. It wasn't just that me that saw it. Thomas Tuchel saw it because he was about to sub him, all right, and put on Rashford. Gordon then scored. So he didn't put on Rashford. He left it for 5, 10, 15 minutes. Fine, no problem. Momentum swing happened. We know momentum swings are going to happen in big games, right? You go 1-0 up, the other team starts pushing more and more. What we should have done was looked for the counter attack and width. Argentina play a narrow game when they get panicky. If we'd kept our width, they would have gone narrow and we could have counter-attacked. We didn't. The biggest warning sign for me on that was Harry Kane was blowing out of his arse. And when we did have a counter-attack, Rodgers pushed up. Right, there was one possession where Rodgers pushed up and had the ball and Kane couldn't make the ability to make the run. Gordon was off and there was no one else up there. That was the biggest sign ever that we'd got the tactics wrong at that point. We needed some width and pace for relief. And then we went 5 at the back and then we went even worse. We tried to park the bus and invited them onto us. You do not invite a team with that quality in the midfield onto you. That is just fucking schoolboy stuff. So they deserve to win because once we invited them on, we should have won. You know, we should have counter-attacked and gone for the win. We didn't. We could have lost 4-1 in the end. Let's be honest. McAllister hit the post. If it wasn't for a few good saves, that's what happens when you invite them on. Tactics were wrong. Nothing but kudos to the players. They were playing in the system that they were told to play in. It is what it is. That's the end of it. So congratulations to Argentina, deserved winners. However, the fans, you can go fuck yourselves. Burning the English flag, spitting on the English flag and that stuff, mate, no time for it. So here's my hope. I hope the English rugby team absolutely fucking pummels the Pumas this weekend. I tell you what, you won't see any nonsense stuff like that from the fans at the rugby. You just won't see it. You'll see Argentinian fans and English fans having pints together. I don't know why it becomes so political in football that we have to start talking about the Falklands and burning flags in the street and spitting on people's... It's just disgusting. The whole thing's disgusting. It's just humans at their worst. That's disgusting. But we won't see that this weekend in the rugby. You will see an aggressive play. And you'll see them all shaking hands and have pints afterwards, which is how it should be. It's a game. This whole thing, like soccer players have anything to do with historical wars that took place 40 years ago, is laughable. Absolutely laughable. Otherwise, you know, what are we going to do? Should we stop inviting the Germans to the World Cup? You know, should we stop inviting countries in the Middle East to what? Should we just stop inviting America, who's pretty much bombed everyone ever? It's just stupid, man. It's just stupid. Just let sport be sport. And fans, just calm yourselves down. It's awful. There you go. That's my thought process on it. I wish we're in the final, but we're not. Yeah, sport shouldn't mix politics, but it always does. Like, there's always, the thing is, sport is what you call a glass window or shop window, right? And there are many benefits to that and many negatives to it. Shop windows are really good for positive influences in life. All right. So, for example, there are some players that would have played in that tournament, let's say for Congo or some of the other teams, who would never have been seen before and will move from $500 a week to probably $30,000 a week. Great. There's also the way that the rest of the world might view some of those countries now, might have different respect for them. Like, certainly, not that I never didn't respect Mexico. I've always loved Mexico, but I love it more than ever now because I had a great experience there. The fans were great. Everything was fantastic there. I'd even consider moving there now. I just think, what a wonderful place. That's the positives. The negatives are when people burn flags and you create more hostility, or you spit at people, or you get in more hostility. That's the bad side to it. At least no hangover Monday. Yeah. But there we go. I don't think Spain. I think Spain will probably dominate the final. I think they will really dominate that final. They will not make the same errors. Are we seeing another rejection up here, and we're back under value again, and the ping pong continues? I can't see Spain. All right, Spain will dominate possession in the midfield, and they will not make the same errors. And they've only conceded one goal all game, and Argentina have conceded so many goals. I would be very. Spain will have to have a monster off day to lose that final, I think. All right, how long we got? Do I take one more trade here if we start to move outside of value? Maybe. Yeah, I think Spain beat Argentina comfortably. All right, we're starting to lose previous day low here. This is starting to perk my interest. It's very aggressive. There's seller stack to 420. Previous day low, 420. Let's see if pops get sold into. Big buy got stuck there at 400. So I'm going to watch pops here, 400 to 420, to see if they step back in here. Software trying to hold a bid. Semi's coming back down to low of day. I'm going to be very careful here in case they bid this back up off value. But I just want to see what they do between 400 and 420 if they resell it. If they reclaim value, then there's no trade. Very, very simple. No, I can't see Argentina going back to back. Like, I don't think any real football fan can look at that Argentinian team and think they're good. They're gutsy. They're not a great football team. They're just not. Like, you can't concede that many goals and be a great football team. They've had the luck's been on their side a bit this tournament. They're not the best team in this tournament was France, and they had an off day against Spain and got punished for it. That was the best team in the tournament. Second best team in the tournament, Spain. It's not even close. Argentina aren't even the third best. They're just, everyone will be like, well, they are because they're in the final. They're the second best. I get what you're saying, but I just mean in the football played, they're not the strongest. Right, big rejection there at 400s. Big seller coming in here at value at VPOC for the day. See if there's a way of getting involved here, because if we let go, there's a wash coming. Big if. Big seller here. I didn't get any on that pop to 400. I might regret that. This might be coming now, folks. If you're already in this in between 400 and 420, which was the area, a move under 74s and a move under 61s will liquidate the buyers. So basically undervalue. Right, so we're right into these areas. Remember where all these buyers came in? We get under there, you're going to see liquidation start to happen. So the buyers have to defend this, otherwise they're going to be in big trouble. You got in at 460. Oh, you took that up there. Whew, very good. Argentina world champions are not that good. Mate, that was 4 years ago. I do play football. That's how I know you don't know what you're fucking talking about. Simple. Simple. You can't concede that many goals. Like, they're not a great football team. You are not the team you were 4 years ago. 4 years ago, you are undoubtedly the best team. You are simply not. You're simply not. You're not the team you were 4 years ago. You're a good football team. You're certainly not the best football team out there. Even if you win, it's going to be from like guts and passion and these things more than anything else, right? You've got massive guts. You don't know when to surrender. You don't know when to die. Like, I absolutely love that about any team. But from a technical point of view, you're certainly not the best. Mate, you should have gone out to Egypt. You should have gone out to, who was the other one? One of the West African teams. Like, lost possession. Lost, like, definitely not. Cape Verde, that was it. Like I said, congratulations for winning. I've got like no issue with that at all. You had a better team yesterday in the last 20 minutes and you punished England for their mistakes. How am I discriminating anyone? There's no discrimination. What are you talking about? You can get out straight away if you're going to try and talk nonsense. Absolutely no discrimination. I don't know what the fuck you're on about, mate. Do I have a bundle for everything together? You'll just have to select it all on the site. Here's the breakdown. Here we go. And we're starting to liquidate these players. So if we move under 60s here, we're going to see a liquidation break, I think. And SOXL's at lower day. And if that breaks, you're going to get a liquidation break. Watching semis at these lows here. They can't save semis here. You're going to see a flush to 140 start on semis. Where do I suggest an entry long? I don't. Above value. Up here. I don't otherwise. It's too risky. Your favourite team was Norway. Yeah, I mean, Norway should have beaten England, to be honest. You were the better team that day. Again, there you go. Like, there's some honesty. Norway were the better team that day. They should have beaten England. They had that first goal was very lucky. Fact, it wasn't a shot on target. But you were the better team. Odegaard kind of bossed the midfield. Rice was sick after being in bed for 3 days, and Odegaard had everyone on toast. Right. If they start to pop and lose 77s and 90s again, this is a sell. These buyers are like last chance saloon down here. SOXL is very close to making a new low of day here, folks. And it's tapping on it now. And if this liquidates, this thing's going to flush. So it's all about whether they fail break SOXL or not. And it's going to get whippy, I would imagine, down here because they really won't want this to break on SOXL. So I'm not in this yet. I'm waiting to see if we pop back up here and then resell 80s to 90s. How are we doing for time? I'm going to run out of time as well here. All right, SOXL, did it wash or didn't even break the low? So they just bid off that low. They're trying to save it. There's the break on the market. Does SOXL follow through here? Software looks like it wants VWAP up. MAG struggling a little bit here as well. Still not in because it didn't pop up far enough yet, unfortunately. Waiting. Missed the entry. Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. So it's all on this right now. You can see this is on a knife edge. Right here. That's possible. If they do that, NQ will probably see weakness. If they reclaim this, we go back inside range again and they save it again. And this is a pretty big level. So we're seeing downside pressure against 150s. We've got room. We've got room if we break here into this. It's 1435s. So this is the question they're posing. Are we going to see this on semis? Do they undercut this? Or is that going to be a protected low and a sweep of this and a turn inside? We literally don't know. We're going to have to see what they do with it. Right, saved again. And I don't think I want to sell up here at 22s on previous week. It's weakness or nothing for me. I don't think, where would I consider a good sell entry? It's really hard because we've created a D shape, right? So technically, we're just in a range. I was waiting to see if we'd form this. We haven't formed it. We certainly don't want to trade the mid of the range. Buyers take control up here, right? Sellers take control down here. Otherwise, we rotate. And like I said, I'm not going to trade the rotations. For me, it's too dangerous trading a rotation today, because if you bid that and it's the day they let go, you get whacked. And if you sell that back in and they catch the bid, you get whacked. I don't want to do that. I want to be really careful today. All because of the daily, like we talked about. All because of where we are on the daily. We want to be really, really careful. We're back inside previous day again now. Yeah, ES holding up well. Let's have a look actually at the market breadth. It'll give us a few clues here again. All right, here's the market breadth. Let's squeeze this down. Will it squeeze down? No. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, so most of the S&P green. All right, all these healthcare, financials, energy, consumer defensive, right, nice and green. This is a common rotation, isn't it? Into healthcare and defensive, out of tech. All right, so the bleed, this is why we're short on the Qs, right? Because this and this are not in the Qs, right? These are just in ES, right? So we're seeing weakness in the Qs because we're bleeding over here, but they're holding the mag up so far. The big bleed in the Qs will come when we start seeing these bigger names come red, right? If we get this block, this block, this block starting to go green to red, along with this, we're going to see a sell. But otherwise, we're seeing rotation out of this, into this, certainly into healthcare and stuff, which is good because remember, swing long, we're long in finances and we're long in healthcare right now. I think that'll probably be it for the day. Let's see what the swings are doing. I'll open these up. Yeah, so I'm up 6.8% on healthcare. There's the other one. Oh, fuck yeah, it sold last week, didn't it? I had a rogue order out there. All good. Nike starting to find a bid, which is good. I think that's got relief coming. How many monitors do I use? 20. 4, mate. 4 widescreens. 2 verticals, 2 horizontals. Oh. 20, yeah, 20 of them. I'm still shocked someone said I discriminated. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's the problem with the world right there. I give a valid, fair, kind opinion, and you get someone trying to cause cancel culture. That, you are the problem. Stuff like that. That's bad. That's really bad. Yeah, 20 monitors, one per Apex account. I look at them all individually. I don't track AI software, mate. I just track software. It's not AI software. It's just software. IGV. It's not AI software, though. It's just software. Look at this rotation non-stop. The churn and churn and churn and churn. Do I trade privately in Discord? Yep. Like yesterday, I can show you. I mean, most of you would have seen it. I put some wish orders out yesterday at previous week value area low and went for a walk. I didn't know if I'd get filled, but I did, and then had to run home. And most of the guys in Discord caught the long and then caught the short. 750 fail short to 600 was really good as well. All right. There's my long off the lows yesterday. All right. Previous week value area low. Covering into, or selling some into VPOC. Told them to hold on to 750. I had to go to the, keep going, right? So I moved my stop out. And then 750 was the next move. And then once we got to 750, we were expecting fail. So there you go. There's the break to 750, which we talked about. And we talked about the rotation from 750 back to 600. And lots of them took that as well. So yeah, we trade in there as well. These glasses, they're normal glasses. They have some blue light in them and they have a very slight tint, but they're not sunglasses. You see, they're very light. But I'm blind, all right? I'm blind. I really struggle to see. I can't see anything, and I've got stigmatism. Discord is only for students that do the beginner to advanced course. There's no monthly fee, but it's only for people to do who have done that course so that they all trade in the same way. You love the churn. I hate churn, man. This is everything I hate. No, thank you. No, thank you. This, right? Fantastic. All right, fantastic. This, oh, God, no. God, no. I'm good. If we get out of 450, all the big buyers are comfortable. I have many green bubbles and a few red bubbles. If we get out of 450, I would say you got to get back into value, mate. More than 450. You got to find acceptance up here. All right. Remember, don't just focus on today. Look at the levels. That's a problem, right? Dipped on it yesterday, held, dipped on it again, rejected, rejected. If you can't get back above this, you're going to have to see that. And that's a tough trade. And I'll be watching into these same points, right? So if you are going to get long up here, your targets are these pivots, right? Basically into 600. Above 600, if they get going, 700, 750 again. But at the moment, there's no doubt about it. These players are stuck, which is why we had a downside bias today, unless we recovered it, right? Because we'd not zoomed into the M1. I don't care about what this is doing. If I know buyers are trapped here, why am I going to long into them? I'm not going to long into them. I'm going to have to long on a reclaim for relief. Otherwise, we're short against them using their pain to move lower. People had to learn a hard lesson today. IGV breaking out, semis back down to lower day again here. They're having another attempt of the break of lower day, and you're into lunch. That's it for me, folks. I'm gonzoing out of here. You know the plays the rest of the day. You're gonna have to keep your eye on those semiconductors and low of day, and you're gonna have to keep your eye on value in the rotation. All right. If you're a range trader, this is probably your dream. For me, I'm going to have to see what we do each side of this. Otherwise, I'm not interested in taking any more trades. We've had, what, 2 or 3 good trades? What was it? One there. One here. And where's the other one? Here. All right, that's it. 3 trades. 3 for 3. Job done. We don't need to click a million buttons here. Remember, at the moment, we are very much in a see money, take money environment. Once we move outside of everything, we'll start being a bit more risk on. All right, we'll start to be a bit more risk on. All right, peace and love, everyone. Oh, actually, before I go, have we got enough? How are we doing on the likes? All right, for those that stayed around, let's just get this up to 1,000 likes quickly, and we'll do a giveaway. Can't leave without giving you something. You learned to scalp from a small cap trader. That's all right. I was a small cap trader. Nothing wrong with that. Smash the like button at the bottom of the screen, not the heart button, guys. Let's just get to 1,000 quickly and we'll give away an Apex account. Nice and simple. I promise I won't discriminate who I give the Apex account to. Madness. Madness. $19 more likes, folks. 10 more likes, folks. All right, there we go. Well done. This thing looks like it's trying to break lower here. All right, new low of day, by the way, on semis. All right, code FZT. Just type it once. Please don't spam. If you're sat in this, hopefully you get a bleed out here. If semis get followed through here and MAG come back down to view up, you're going to get a bleed out, hopefully down towards 320 would be next cover point. You do not want a recovery of 68s. All right, and then if you get under some of these, where's that pain point for buyers? 43 is the pain point for buyers, and then 11s, 10s. So under 43 and under 10s, and then you start seeing pain potentially be added onto this market for lower prices. Semis are really letting go now. They're in trouble. So if they back test now on semiconductors, right, if they back test and stay heavy, and you see expansion, you're looking for this, and you're looking for weakness on NQ. If they reclaim, you're out of shorts, right? Because that would be a failed break and a recovery. Very, very, very simple. That's your over-under. Do not fight it. Either plays for you or it doesn't. I'm done for the day, folks, or at least for the next hour. I've got to take my dog out. Right, how are we doing? Right, 3, 2, 1. Steve Stark, 5769. Let me know you're here, Steve Stark. Yes, nice man. All right, email me, please, buddy. info@flowzonetrader.com. Just send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube so I know it's you. And I will sort you out with a free Apex account. Simple as that. Simple as that. Nice and easy. So info@flowzonetrader.com. Right, this thing's melting for you guys. Looks good. I will be back tomorrow. Remind you, check out my Twitter and YouTube. All the latest offerings are up there. Best offerings at the moment are probably Take Profit Trader funded next. My funded futures, if you like, 25k is just put a new offering out. This thing's bleeding for you guys now. Finally letting go. Look at this. Finally letting go here. So you're good to hold on to this now, and you want acceptance under 20s and 10s, and then real weakness will happen if they start coming under 10s, because that's where the last buyers were. All right, so you're into, look at all these buyers now. Think about this. All these buyers are now out of the money, and they've got a last chance saloon here. And if they can't hold this, it's night time, right? So all these buyers, think about everyone that's been buying today is very, very upset now. Everyone who's looking for that cup and handle, they're very, very upset now, aren't they? Everyone who's trying to hold the rotation, they're very, very upset now, aren't they? Yeah, exactly. Who's trapped? Who's trapped? Buyers. They've been trapped overnight. They've been trapped all week. They're now getting exploited. All right, I've got to get out there. I've got to take my dog for a walk. Peace and love, everyone. Use hard stops. I hope I've helped you today. Even if you've had to learn a hard lesson, I really, really, genuinely hope I've helped you today see the market in ways that maybe you couldn't see it before. Peace out. Use hard stops. See you in the morning.